Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent, and going on my morning bike ride finally. I've been, if you haven't been following my channel, I have been putting together videos, a series of videos on my life story. And I think there's a total of 74 of them. And I would try to do one every day, but of course, that didn't happen, but it was pretty close to one every day. Anyway, which means I haven't gone on my regular morning bike ride for about 3 months. And so after I finished the series, I needed a little break because it was felt like I was under pressure to get the videos made, because I knew some people were, there's a bump. I knew some people were watching it regularly and seeing what was coming up next. And so I was like, I felt obliged to just keep making them until it was done. Well, I finished a week and a half or so ago, and then kind of took a break. In my last video, I just put up something to let you know I was still alive. Anyway, and so I took a break, and then I started back on my morning bike ride. Now, I've been doing this 4 years ago this November. This is August. I got my e-bike, and I started going for a ride every day just to stay in shape and enjoy myself. And so I've been doing that ever since. Went through 3 different bikes, and I finally got this trike. Well, anyway, so finally I'm back to doing my morning trike ride. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll tell you what's going on in my life, and then I think maybe I'll start a series on e-bike batteries, because your battery, if you have an e-bike or an e-trike, your battery is what makes everything possible. Now, you can still pedal without the battery, but anyway, so I'll be starting a series on that. And now this road's deteriorating rapidly, but anyway, so we're going to go along here, and there's a lot of ruts. And so if it's a really wide rut, I just go down through the rut. All right, so we're out of the rut now. And so anyway, this is my old traditional e-bike, e-trike ride. Of course, there's a lot of traffic and everything, but so anyway, this is what I do. Oh, there's a rut that I didn't see. That's a new one. Okay. So anyway, so what was I going to say before I went into the rut? Anyway, so I generally would take the same route. Every once in a while I'd vary. So I would ride 5, 6, sometimes 7 miles every day to get the exercise and the enjoyment out of riding my e-trike and e-bike. So anyway, I thought, okay, well, I don't have any. I got to tell you about Arizona here. Right now it is 6:35 roughly, and it's just getting warm. And I don't know, I didn't look before we left, but anyway, it's in the 80s at least. And so if you don't go in the morning, the last couple of days we've had between 108 and 115 degrees temperature, and that's way too hot for me. Several years ago, I had a heat stroke after working out in the hot sun in 97 or so degrees all day long. And then all of a sudden, I'll just tell you, I had some chills and got real dizzy, and it was an honest to goodness heat stroke. Well, so ever since then, if I get out in the hot sun and spend any time out there, it zaps my energy, just wipes me out. So I don't like doing that. It's not good for me either. And my wife tells me not to. So, and you can see there's a lineup here of, well, it's kind of dangerous around here. The lineup here of cars. Now, this road over here is where we're going to go pretty soon. But I wanted to show you, this is my old route. I would come down here to this intersection, which is currently holding everybody up from getting to where they want to go, because they're redoing the roads out in this area to make room for more traffic. As you may or may not know, everybody's moving here, a lot of them from California. And so they're building houses as fast as they can and still can't stay ahead. So anyway, so the roads are crowded because they don't have the infrastructure, they say, to handle all the traffic. So they're working on that. And now, I came along here on the first day I went for my E-Trike ride after getting through with my project. I came along here, and oops, there was something I ran over. Anyway, and right about here is where I used to jump off because the sidewalk stopped. But as you can see, they've made it longer, and I thought, oh, that's great. So I went down there a little ways. I'm not going to go, it's way too noisy. But anyway, I went down there a little ways and ended up having to go through all kinds of, I'm going to turn around here, having to go through all kinds of construction dirt and up steep hills and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm not going to go there anymore. But it was an experience, and I wish I would have had my camera going that time. By the way, it's really breezy this morning. They're expecting a monsoon storm this evening. And if you don't know what that is, if you live here in Arizona, you know what it is. Anyway, the wind blows and the rain falls, and it tears things up. So, I hope this video comes out okay. All right, there goes the garbage truck. And there goes another truck. Anyway, you can see the lineup at the stop at the corner is slowing everybody down. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on that road that I pointed out and go into a gated community, and we'll just follow this guy in. If he knows the code, maybe he doesn't know the code. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go over here and wait for somebody that knows the code, and then we'll go in. They keep changing it. You can learn it, and then a week later it's not what it was. Either that or maybe it's not working. Pretty soon somebody will come out, and then I can go in. Oh, here comes somebody, probably has a code. Only thing is, that other person's in the way. There. Now it's opening up. Now I can go in along with all these other guys. Okay. That's how that works. That's how I do it every time. And I don't like filming this time of morning because the sun's too low on the horizon. It doesn't make for good quality video. But, and you can probably hear the winds blowing. Anyway, I don't have much choice because by the time the sun's up, it gets over 100 degrees. And that takes all the fun out of an e-bike ride. Okay, so let me see. Let me talk a little bit about batteries because I want to start a series on that. And so maybe might be a good idea for me. Not everybody knows about batteries, and so we'll go back many years in my life when your car battery, which has lead and sulfuric acid in it, okay, along with some water, and that battery was pretty rugged, and so let's explain. Let's make it simple here. We'll pretend that this handlebar is a battery, okay? And this is the, well, they're positive and negative. So we'll say this is positive and this is negative, okay? Now, what does that mean? Well, you don't have to understand atomic theory, but in the atom, the electrons are negative and the proton in the middle is positive. So that's what holds the world together, okay? And so the electricity is when we move those electrons from one atom to another, okay? And at the speed of light. So it's not like, come on, budget guy, go, 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 you know. So so this is the battery, and we'll say my body is an electrical circuit. And what it might be a light bulb, might be a computer, anyway, something that takes battery. And so we'll say my body's, well, let's say it's a light bulb. Okay, so so when I hook up when I turn on the switch or hook up the wires, then all of a sudden the battery, the negative end of the battery is where there's a whole big storage of electrons that want to get over to this side, back to their protons, okay? Back to their atoms. And so as soon as we hook up like a light bulb or anything else, even a short circuit, at the speed of light, all of a sudden electrons come out of here, go through my body, and get over here, and they say, oh, I'm home. And so that's how the battery works. But the thing is these electrons that are over here, they were put there purposely when somebody charged up the battery, okay? And so they didn't want to be there, but that's where the charger pushed them there. And that's what a charger does. Now let's pretend my body is a charger, okay? So you hook up the charger, and the charger's got, so it's got a connection here, and it sucks electrons. So this is a positive connection, and it sucks electrons and pushes them back over into this other side. So that's how the battery gets charged. So now you got a whole bunch of electrons over here. Well, so then when you hook it up to the circuit, they want to come out and go home, okay? So they start flowing through the circuit. Well, there's, you know, like there's a big, huge overload of electrons over here. And that's why we call it electrical, because, or electronics, because when you hook up a circuit, well, I hope you can hear me. When you hook up a circuit, then all the electrons start flowing, and they call that electricity. So now I think I can go. And so, but pretty soon all these electrons that are over here in the battery, they all get back home where they need to be, and pretty soon there's no difference between the positive side and the negative side. In other words, when you measure a charged up battery, let's say it's 12 volts, okay? So you'll have 12 volts difference between here. But as these electrons head home, then the difference between this end and this end, which is measured in volts, that gets less and less and less. Excuse me. And so so that difference that gets less and less and less, finally the battery's dead, because all the electrons that were out of town, now they're at home. Okay, let's see what we got here. We don't want to get hit by a car. So go over here and go down here. Nobody coming that way. Okay, now we're still on, getting back to my normal e-bike route. So anyway, that's the way a battery, when it's all charged up, all the electrons are forced over to where they don't want to be, and they're so anxious to get home. And so, but when it's dead, they made it home. And so then the charger says, sorry guys, and sucks them out of here and stuffs them in out of the right hand and stuffs them into the, and then all the electrons get over here so that they equal the, well anyway, we'll get to that later. So you have, so that's how batteries work, all right? I don't know if that's a very good explanation, but we'll go down here and see if we can get back to my regular route. Okay, so anyway, that's how batteries work. And then and the next time around, we'll talk about some more things about batteries. And that may be tomorrow, it might not be tomorrow. We're having a big, heavy storm tonight, and I may not be able to get out and ride in the morning. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching my videos, as crazy as they might be, and God bless.